Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I am back again doing your health-focused monthly tarot horoscope for the month of March 2015. For all of my lovely lammy puffs, everyone who has their sun, moon, or ascendant in Scorpio. And I am using a new deck. The deck that I am using is the Herbal Tarot deck, and I think I must have added the card that showed it back into my deck here. For some reason, I must have added it back in. It's the Herbal Tarot deck by Michael Tira and Candace Canton. As you can tell, you know, we've got a lot of writing on here, so a lot of research has gone into these cards, okay? And I'm doing this kind of to empower everyone to take better care of their health and to take their health back into their own hands, you know. And this is also, I'm sending a disclaimer to everyone saying, you know, this is not meant to treat, prevent, or cure any diseases, although a lot of my suggestions will help you in a lot of ways. So I am also telling people I'm not an herbalist, I'm not a doctor. This is you know, food for thought for everyone, and you know, I'm telling people to really make sure that they're, you know, cross-checking everything before they take it with either a naturopath, an herbalist, or you know, doing their own research as far as what they're taking already as far as medications, because some herbs are very strong, okay? And, you know, especially if you're pregnant, you want to make sure as well, you know, what you're taking. So, I'm going to roll out the spread for you lovely lammies. Ooh. You've got a lot going on here, Scorpio. I'm going to pull an additional card because the outcome is not so good. You got, like, really high highs. Like, some of you are experiencing or have experienced really good health, and some of you are not. So, and there's also really low lows. So, some of you may be a little bit bipolar. Some of you may have blood sugar issues, blood imbalances, highs, lows. And some of you may just have kind of gone through a lot as far as your health. In the distant past, we have chamomile, okay? And this is a beautiful card. And as you can tell, you know, this is the Ace of Swords, but in my deck, I focus mostly on the medicine, okay? The medicine here is chamomile tea for relaxing. If you have a cold, this is good for cramps. It's actually high in calcium, which I didn't know before I did this deck. This is also the achievement of good health through much hard work, regular exercise, intake of herbs, and a balanced diet with a rare cold here and there, a peaceful attitude, a person with good vibes, very quick-witted, a loving and healthy relationship where two people truly love each other. So this, some of you in the distant past, things were going really good for you, Scorpio, health-wise, and, you know, in your personal life, and, you know, your emotional health, your mental health, you know, your physical health, we're all kind of just in balance, okay? That's the distant past. And recently, you're also in, you were in this mode of, I always say love is the most important, love is the best medicine, okay? And this card is actually juniper berries, okay? So recently, I would still say, guys and girls, you know, juniper berries is a tincture is amazing. It's an overall tonic. It's a great detoxifying supplement. So this card it says love is the most important thing, okay? And not money, I quote it, not money, not a tower in the sky. It says, I don't want diamond sunbursts or marble halls. I just want you. And this is from Anna Green Gables. So it's about, in a lot of people's decks, this card, is all about making choices, determining real from illusion, But I narrowed it down. I nailed it down. I said, no, none of this stuff is important. Love is the most important thing. So for you, this is what this card is about. So for you in the recent past, love was the most important thing. And normally for Scorpio, sex is the most important thing. No offense, Scorpio, but that's how I see you. So it's kind of cute to see that the love is the most important thing for you. So I feel like you're kind of in this romantic vibe. I am going to post a link to the chamomile tea and also for juniper berries tincture because, if they come up at all in the reading, I usually post them because that's stuff that would have been helpful for you to take before, and some people may be feeling like they want to take an herb or something for detox right now. The juniper berry tinctures it's great for the pancreas. It's cleanses and tones the digestive system and detoxing the blood. It's good for also UTIs. So I'm going to post that link. So this is the interesting part. Now, what's crowning you right now is the Six of Swords, which is stress. A lot of stress. You're stressed out. So I feel like in the distant past and the recent past, things were pretty good. Okay, your health was pretty good. You were enjoying good health. Love was the most important thing. So you kind of had, things prioritized. You had your priorities straight. Okay, but now you're health-wise, you're under a lot of stress. You need a break. This is the medicine of this card is vervain. Okay, it says the vervain tea or tincture or even capsules. It says good for nerves and irritability. It's great for the liver and the gallbladder. It says the liver and the gallbladder need attention. So those of you who have been drinking, I would taper off. It says wanting to run away because there's a lot of conflict in relationships. It says to avoid the truth. You need to speak the truth no matter what, Scorpio. That's very important. And, counseling is needed as well as needing to put the sword down and not fight. This is... you need to choose your battles wisely, and I feel like you're not. I feel like you're either picking fights or there's just conflict in your relationship, and you're not. I feel like you don't understand for some reason. You're not understanding their view, or you don't understand the bigger picture and how you kind of fit into the bigger picture. I don't know why I'm getting that. It's kind of weird, but that's kind of what I'm getting. And also, you're being really picky and you're nitpicking and you're getting so stuck on tiny little issues and you're blowing them way out of proportion. So, those of you who are in a relationship, some of you may need to just move on. Time to stop fighting and move on. If the whole thing isn't working, you need to evaluate, is this going to work? How is this going to work long term? Has this been working? Really evaluate it. And this is getting out of Dodge, needing to get out of Dodge, okay? and letting go of the old and embracing the new. There is a lot of fear of the unknown and resistance. Every time I come to this point, I feel like a lot of people don't want me to say it. Resistance to change. There's a tear in your aura, and, you know, your ship may feel like it's sinking, okay? And you're kind of on a sinking ship. I feel like in relationships, I feel like your relationship has deteriorated. For those of you who are in a marriage situation or were in a marriage situation, your relationship came to an end. You're either in the process of divorce or separation, and you need to let it go. You need to move on. You need to get past it. Because I feel like for some of you, time has really passed. Okay, and, you know, you're not just getting over, you know, it's not months, we're talking years here, where it's taking you to kind of move on. There's a lot of sadness and anger, and there's issues with lying. There's too many lies. Either you yourself are lying to your partner, or your partner is lying to you, and you're avoiding the truth. I feel like some of you are really avoiding the truth. You don't want to, like, share the truth with your partner. Either you're scared of the consequences, or I feel like some of you got a divorce or got separated because there was issues with lying. You didn't know what the truth was or is, you know, whether there was, I feel like some of you may have had like an emotional affair. Some of you actually may have had like a full-blown, or your partner may have had like a full-blown affair. I don't know why I'm getting this, but this is just something that's coming to me. So I feel like some of you like just had like major stuff happen, and you're still not over it, and it's really eating away at you, but you need to let it go. You need to move on from it. You need to, if you're in a relationship that's been like this, it's time to get out of it, because it's not healthy for you any longer. You might want to watch my sex and relationships video for March as well, because I feel like that goes more into like the dynamics, you know, in relationship and guys and girls and all that stuff. And it's interesting because you also got the Death card. And when I think of Scorpios, I think of death, because Scorpios are really intense. Scorpios are the ones that, like, I think of, like, you know, kind of like a bottomless cavern, you know, or a bottomless well, basically. They're very, very deep people. And that kind of intensity, that kind of like darkness is kind of like, not like darkness in a bad way, because we've got to remember everything in life, there is, in our lives anyways, there's light and there's dark. The dark harnesses the light, okay? And in our experience on Earth, in our lives, we go through good and bad times. You know, we're here to experience the contrast between really, really, really good and really, really, really bad experiences. The medicine here for the Death card is the elderflowers. Now, I did watch this really cool video on the Jamie Oliver's FoodTube channel, and I want to post it for you guys because he makes homemade elderflower champagne. It's awesome. And okay, so elderflowers are used in tea and tinctures for cold and fevers, and to purify the blood, to detox, and to clear your skin. But this Death card, is all about having difficulty of letting things go, especially for, I wrote this on the card, especially for Scorpio or Cancer signs. Changing old ways. It says you need to work on karma, and work on your karma by changing for the better. Being reborn can be in attitude or way of life or way of looking at things, and starting over. It says change affects everyone, not Oh, okay. The change affects everyone, just as death does. No one is immune from change or death. And this can also signify mm, being reborn, to have a new exuberance for life, okay? And that's kind of what you need to have. You need to let go of the old. You need to move on to embrace the new, embrace your new life experience. If you're newly single, you need to embrace being single. If need to, if you're in a horrific relationship, it's time for you to get out of it, okay? Because it's no longer serving you anymore. Clinging on to this old relationship isn't going to make your life better. And it's like one of those things that Scorpio needs to learn, because it's the only thing they always say. Okay, so it's so cheesy, but the only thing in life that's constant is change. That's it. And Scorpios need to learn that there is a natural beginning, middle, and end to everything. It's natural. It just happens. If your relationship it started to deteriorate and it's no longer working, then it's a signal to you, Scorpio, that it's time to let go. That it's the natural thing, by clinging on to it, you're actually trying to go against this natural flow and say, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. But guess what? That's what you need to experience in order for your soul to grow. So, in order to understand, like, the whole natural flow of everything. So, it's just important for you, Scorpio, to bear these things in mind. I will post the elderflower tincture on when I post this video. So, okay. So, and then what's crossing you? Okay, so is this is, to me, the best card in the whole deck. So, to me, it feels like you are in the past, things were pretty good. But then your relationship has deteriorated. That's kind of how I feel. It's deteriorated, and it's not good for your health to cling on any longer. You need to embrace the new. By embracing the new, you will have much better health. And this is the best card. This is the Ace of Cups. This is good health, supreme, unconditional love. This is where you find your soulmate, okay? And it says, and it feels right. And you can finally be together with someone who truly loves you. This is engagement or marriage, to find love and happiness, being blessed and abundant in love. This is fulfillment, enlightenment, flowers everywhere, and springtime. It says, don't lose hope. You will be together. You need to have more faith. You need to go swimming. You need to go swimming. Obviously, it's someplace in northern hemisphere. It's too cold. Find a local community pool that you can go to. Southern hemisphere people, if there's places you can go, ponds, lakes. You also need to buy some artwork or do some painting or be creative. This is also to weep with tears of joy, to go home to people who love you. So it feels like some of you are, we have the Ace of Cups, which is the best. We have this Death card, which is not the worst card, okay? But it's a very difficult place to be. The Six of Swords is very, very stressful. It's very, very high stress. It's not good. So again, we have the extreme high, extreme low happening here. So we need to, and we got the Two of Pentacles in the position of things that you don't see coming. And this is balance. This is balancing things. This is balancing your health. This is blood imbalances, anemia in conjunction with fibroids. This is the medicine on here is yellow dock. You can take the yellow dock capsules, tea, or tincture. This card can indicate blood sugar issues, eating too much or too little. can indicate being caught between two women or two men in a relationship, needing to make choices and better decisions to weigh things and needing to think things through. There is new love on your horizon here, Scorpio. For some of you, there is new love. I feel like you are going to meet your soulmate. If you haven't met your soulmate already, you're going to meet your soulmate. Some of you are, some of you I feel like are dating and you're kind of just juggling, two relationships. And to me, neither one feel like the right person, to be honest with you. Neither one feel right. They both feel just like, the word that's coming to me is duds. They're kind of like duds. And I feel like you also need to meet your soulmate and someone that you really connect with. It just feels right. Some of you are, I feel like, are going home, like home. Maybe you've been traveling around for a while and you haven't found a home, or maybe, you're in another country and, you want to go home to your, like, home country, and that's what's calling to you. And some of you, I don't necessarily feel like you're going to move there. Some of you just need to visit. Some of you may be moving there, and it's going to feel so good for you. I'm getting a tingle for you to go home, because to you that is home. That's where you need to be, And I feel like you're trying to decide. I feel like some of you are trying to decide whether to go home or not. And ultimately, that decision is up to you. To me, to have the Ace of Cups means you're going to make the decision to go home. Whether you stay there permanently or not, again, that's your call. But I do feel like you're going to be happy there. So that's what's coming to me. And then where was I? The position of emotions is you need to improve your diet. Some of you are really focused on diet, and you should be focused on whole grains. That's the medicine of this card. This is the Ace of Pentacles. So we have the Ace of Swords. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Ace of Pentacles. You have 3 aces here. It feels like new beginnings in March for Scorpios. Really, really strongly. For your health. You are starting over for your emotional health, for your physical health. This is the need to improve diet. You need to start eating organic vegetables and fruit and whole grains. Some of you are suffering from malnutrition. This goes back to not eating enough or eating too much, or maybe eating too much of the wrong foods. This is feeling like you're never fully satisfied. Emotionally, you're never fully satisfied. Part of that is because you're suffering from malnutrition. So you need to get the juicer that I'm always talking about. I'm going to post a link to the juicer. Start juicing, but also start to eat organic fruits and vegetables. Start to really watch what you're eating. Avoid anything fried. Avoid any packaged or processed. This is whole foods. This is like the definition of whole foods. You have unsatisfied inner desires, and sexual frustration. You need love. Emotionally, you need love. For your overall health, you need love. So we have this love, wanting love, okay? And then we have emotions, needing love. And then, we have this Ace of Cups here, which tells me that you're going to achieve this. To me, it feels like it's been manifested, or in some ways it's sort of fated that it was going to happen, and maybe you just had to get to this. Maybe you had to let go of an old relationship in order for it to come in. It's possible for some of you. Others, it feels to me more like, they always say it's like it's always darkest before the dawn. It feels like you had to go through this really low period in order to see, again, this is the spiritual journey. This is about understanding, letting go, holding on, when to let go, knowing when to let go, when to hold on. That's the Scorpio challenge. When to go with the flow, when to set your boundaries. Learning about the high and low, not really being able to appreciate the high of this amazing soulmate love connection without experiencing that dark night of the soul, without experiencing the loss, the fighting, the trauma, the grief, all that. You need to have, in order to appreciate the good, you have to go through some bad experiences. If you're on a spiritual journey, and I feel like Scorpios have been. So what's coming in is needing commitment in relationships. This can indicate mixed race marriages, strong partnerships with needing a strong partnership with a boyfriend or girlfriend. The medicine of this card is turmeric, and I love turmeric so much. I feel like you guys need to make some curry. Some of you need to like make some vegetable curry, chicken curry, with some turmeric. Maybe some of you really like curry. I'm kind of getting that too. Some of you really love curry. If you love curry, message me and let me know. I'm really into curries right now. I was into curries several months ago, and then I'm kind of getting back into curries again. It's kind of hard to get over curries permanently, you know? They're so addictive. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. Strong partnership. Okay, so turmeric is excellent for female menstruation issues. This is a great anti-tumor, anti-cancer, spice. You need to focus on, again, healing the liver and needing to detox. So liver for you, Scorpios. And detox. And what's coming in, in the position of your attitude is the dill. Okay, the Page of Swords, which is dill. This can indicate this is guys, male and female Scorpios. Okay. Sorry, I have something in my eye. This is digestive issues. This can also indicate a child with digestive issues. If you have kids who have digestive issues, you need enzymes. Okay, and I talk to people, and this goes back to eating whole fruits, vegetables. Fruits and vegetables have natural enzymes. Okay. Things that help us they're chemicals that help us digest our foods, but they're natural chemicals. They're not like foreign, man-made chemicals. Okay, and the dill is good for colic and small children, so you need to cook more with dill. There's a Swedish chef. Her name is Tina Nordstrom, and I love all of her videos. You can find them on YouTube, and she cooks, because in Swedish cuisine, they cook a lot with dill. Pretty much like every meal, there is dill. So you need to add more dill into your kids' meals, whether adding it to soups, whether you're adding it to salads, you're putting it on sandwiches, get a shaker of dill and put it on everything. You can just mix it into a lot of different things. You need to add more fiber in your diet with green vegetables, herbs, and fruit. I make a really good kimchi dip. I added kimchi on here. If you haven't had kimchi before, it's fermented cabbage. It's Korean, and it's really good to help digestive issues. You don't want to go overboard on that stuff, but it is very good for you. And this is, I recommend kimchi dip. So you mix some Greek yogurt and some, like a quarter of a jar of kimchi, and some onion flakes. And this is also feeling the need to be a bit wild and free, and sometimes obstinate. That's you kind of, Scorpio. You kind of have a wild side, but you also are very obstinate and want to do what you want to do. Nobody can tell you. It says, moving quickly and good at overcoming obstacles, but more structure is needed in handling the mundane aspects of life. And this is all about get cleaning, getting a housekeeper. You need to balance fun experiences with shopping and music and just like concerts. So you can't be where all you do is work, Scorpio. It can't be where you get really bogged down by cleaning or needing to clean and then not cleaning at all. Most Scorpios that I've ever met are kind of clean freaks. They're actually like over organized and like, but so it could be one or the other, Scorpio. It could be that like you're working so much and you're overly focused on work that you have no time to clean. The other Scorpios could be overly focused on cleaning and organizing, and they like don't go out and don't have any fun. They're just like, they spend all their time organizing their stuff. It feels to me like those of you who just need to get cleaning and balance, again, this whole balance thing with this work-life thing, but also balance, you need to have fun. It can't just be, the shopping, the grocery shopping, the laundry, the dishes. It has to be, you have to go out and have fun. So that's part of it. Now, the outcome is the love is a battlefield card, which is not a great place to end. So I did pull a second card here. So love is a battlefield. This is the Five of Swords. We have the Six of Swords and the Five of Swords. And I had I did another video where these both came up together. So you may be in a relationship with that person. I don't remember which one it was now, but it says 2 or more people involved in a complicated relationships. Love triangles, cheating, and cycles of breaking up and getting back together. Lots of drama where no one wins. War is for losers. The medicine on here is mistletoe. Mistletoe is great for calming nerves, treating cancer, and regulating blood pressure. It does say needing to kiss under mistletoe, to have a first kiss, or to recover, then begin again in love. So it feels like some of you are like waging a war. I feel like some of you are waging a war like on your ex-wife or your ex-husband or an old boyfriend or an old girlfriend or something. This to me feels old. This to me feels like an old battle. This is the end of March. See, because I feel like you're going through this letting go experience. And I feel like middle to end of March, you will have transformed and let go. Those of you who do not let go, this is what's going to happen. It's going to end very badly. And I will tell you, and I'm not trying to scare you or be negative, but I am telling you, I don't feel like you should hang on. It is time to let go for sure. If you hang on, it'll be bloody. It'll be a bloody battle. Several people are going to get hurt. On a positive note, those of you who are single and who aren't going through any kind of, breakup or divorce, you kind of want to have, I feel like you may like someone, and you kind of need to have your first kiss. But it can also be just wanting to kiss someone, maybe just wanting to have, it's like the beginning of a relationship. You want to have, you want to have something. You want to have that excitement in a new relationship. So I feel like that's what's kind of going on. I'm going to post a link for both guys and girls for the mistletoe. But I feel like to me this is more about the emotional health and the relationships that you're going through. That you need to not engage in this kind of, if there's anybody, okay, so this is kind of what I feel. If there's anybody who's engaged in like a complicated love triangle or a complicated relationship where you're dating someone who is married or, let's just say they're not single, okay? They have a boyfriend, they may have multiple partners. This is a time where this is going to come to an end. It's not going to end well. Okay, and this is at the end of March. I feel like it's going to come to an end. And you need to end it. If you can end it before the end of March, it would be better. Because if you wait to the end of March, then it's going to be a long, drawn-out battle. Okay, and it's not going to end well. Now, I pulled another card, which is Lady Slipper Tincture. Okay, and it's the Queen of Swords. However, I am kind of the personal opinion about Lady Slipper. Because Lady Slipper, I'm not sure if you understand, but this is a very special plant, okay? It takes a very long time. I think it's 3 years for it to come to get, for its roots to get settled, okay? And for it to start to, 3 years. It's a long time, okay? To start to bloom. And it takes a lot for the lady slipper to get pollinated. The bee has to fall into the sort of heart part of the lady slipper, and then it has to, and it gets stuck there, okay, and then it has to find its way, like have the courage to unstick itself and fly out, okay. It's quite the complicated process for pollinating a lady slipper flower, okay. And lady slipper is quite expensive to buy. Not the tincture so much, but I'm of the personal opinion that the lady slipper is something to respect in nature, and I'm not going to post the link to the medicine unless you specifically request that I do so, because I don't want to be one of those people that's, you know, I've done a lot of research on this, and the lady slipper is one of those plants you just don't want to take out of its environment. You don't want to cut it. You don't want to use it unless it's absolutely necessary, okay? So, since we have the Queen of Swords, the main thing about the Queen of Swords is, you know, lady slipper is a natural nerve and pain reliever. There are other things that you can take aside from lady slipper that are natural pain relievers and good for your nerves, okay? You need to kind of calm down, but to me it's sort of like she's going to win, okay? This guy, this Five of Swords guy, well, I wouldn't say. To me, it's a war. To me, it could be, it's not about winning. Okay, like I said, war is for losers. To me, the Queen of Swords is going to go head to head with this Five of Swords dude. Okay? If you're single, this is you wanting to start a relationship, and you're kind of in the process of maybe getting over an old relationship, or you don't want to go through that kind of thing. If you're single, it's just that you don't want to go through it. You've been through it. You don't want to go through it. And maybe you're scared that you're going to go through it, you know? And the Queen of Swords, it says, a woman who has a healthy sex drive. Okay, that's you, Scorpio. Strong sensuality, and it's a powerful woman whose one weakness is her heart. Past relationships were terrible. Needing to heal from a broken heart and building trust back again, okay? This can also indicate an actress, a movie star, or radio star, someone who's like very well known. And this is a woman who always gets what she wants. She is unstoppable. She is willing to fight to the end. A woman in a powerful position in career, okay? So, if you're single, you're not fighting. You're just very strong. And again, you could be a male or female Scorpio where you're single and you're not fighting anybody. You're just very, very strong. You're strong in who you are. You don't want to have any drama in relationships. Maybe you're avoiding relationships because it's just like it's too much for you. I feel like both male and female Scorpios Scorpio usually gets its way. Scorpio has tenacity, you know. So again, I'm not going to post the Lady Slipper tincture unless you specifically request it. It's a very, very precious, special plant that I feel like everybody should learn more about. I'm kind of in awe of it, actually. It's very unusual and very different. It may be that this Queen of Swords person is kind of like an exotic flower. And that's what the star power, you know, you're different, Scorpio. There may be something about you that's very, very attractive to guys because there's this star power that you're just unusual. You know, you're not cookie cutter. So that could be. I'm not getting anything else though. So I am gonna post the links, and feel free to email me if you would like a private reading. Of course, health is very private and specific, so it would be better to have a private reading for these. But I hope you like them, and I send you all the best in March. Big hugs, big kisses, and I will talk to you guys soon. Okay, take care.